Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over 7 things that I have learned in my 2 years of truck driving. I've learned so much more than just 7 things, but I've decided to take 7 things that I feel as though are most important to me in my personal experience and just go over those. So I'm going to start from 7 and go down to 1, with 1 being the most important to me. So make sure you stick around for that. Okay. So I'm gonna go from 7 to 1, with 1 being the most important. Starting at number 7, I'll just get right into it. Driving in crazy weather conditions. Being as though the time that I'm filming this is winter, so it's starting to snow and everything, and this is gonna be my 3rd winter driving a truck. I've had some crazy winter experiences, so no matter if it's raining hard or snowing hard or icy out or it's a real thick fog or it's like super windy, no matter what it is, if you feel uncomfortable and if you feel unsafe, pull over. Don't feel bad about pulling over. If you don't feel safe, pull over. If you're gonna keep driving, just make sure you take your time. I know it's gonna be trucks flying past you, because that was me. I mean, not me flying past other trucks, but me getting flown past. I don't know if this was the first winter or the second winter, but I was driving slow because it was snowing hard outside, and it was trucks flying past me, and I'm just like, are we not seeing the same thing here? Are we not in the same, are we not, like, you know, like, is it not snowing to you? Because it's snowing to me. So yeah, but don't be like that, because 9 times out of 10, those are the drivers that you driving down the road, later down you see them in the median, you see them in the ditch, you see them jackknife. Those are the drivers that you see, the ones that are flying past you. When the weather is crazy, just take your time. If you choose to keep driving, just take your time. If you feel unsafe, pull over, shut down for the night. Don't feel bad about shutting down or pulling over, and do what you gotta do. Just always do what's best for you and your safety, okay? Because the load is gonna get there regardless. Don't risk your life to try and deliver a load, because I know I'm not. So I wouldn't suggest anybody do that. And if you do decide to keep driving and you're driving slower, make sure you always have your hazard lights on when you're driving slower, just so other drivers can be aware that you're driving slow. Because sometimes when it's raining hard or snowing hard or it's foggy out, they can't, like, you can't see as far in front of you as you usually can. So with your hazard lights being on, it's just all about communicating with other drivers on the road. That's what it's really all about. So that was number 7. So number 6 is driving with other cars. Not even just cars, but like other vehicles, other trucks, just any other vehicle on the road. It's just so, it can be so annoying. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like sometimes I really just wish that I had the whole road to myself, and which is why, because I usually drive during the daytime, so I take a break from that sometimes, and I'll drive overnight because it's more peaceful to drive overnight. Because it's like, during the day you got to deal with traffic, you got to deal with so many other cars, so many other trucks and everything, and driving at night is just so much more peaceful. Sometimes I take a break from day driving and just drive overnight. But anyways, yeah, so driving with other vehicles, you have to have strong defensive driving skills, okay? Because a lot of people think just because you can drive a vehicle that you're a good driver. You also have to have good defensive driving. You have to pay attention to what other cars are doing and what other trucks are doing. Because a lot of the time, other people are not paying attention. And if you're a truck driver, you know, 9 times out of 10, when you drive past a car and you look down, they're on their phone. Sometimes I even see truck drivers on their phone. So a lot of the time, people are not paying attention. So you have to pay attention for yourself and for other people, which is annoying. And another thing about driving with other vehicles is, like, especially cars. Don't even get me started. Oh my god. So if you know, driving with cars is so annoying. One thing that I really just don't like about driving with cars is that I always have to be the bigger person, because people in cars think they can really get over on people with trucks, and they can, because we can't do anything about it. And it's just times where I wish that I could just do something about it, but I can't. And I just gotta be the bigger person, and I just gotta let them get away with whatever they just did. You know, like sometimes be coming down the off ramp or on ramp and try to squeeze in front of me, or try to squeeze next to me, go on the shoulder, squeeze next to me, get in front of me, cut me off, like all those type of things. Like, I have to let it slide, because what am I gonna do? I can't hit you, you know. I can't really get close up on you, because you know, not supposed to really do that in a truck. I know some drivers do, but I like to be safe. I want to go a long time without any major accidents, so I gotta swallow my pride and be the bigger person when it comes to cars and just other vehicles on the road. Because one thing that I've noticed, especially people in cars, they're very petty. Truck drivers are petty too, but other people in vehicles, whatever type of vehicle, just people can just be petty. And it's just like, I'm not about to play with you, because I'm in a huge truck. I'm not about to be out here playing games in this truck. So yeah, my point was just to pay attention to what everybody else is doing, while also paying attention to what you're doing. And I know it's gonna suck sometimes to be the bigger person, but you have to be the bigger person to just keep things safe. So yeah, that's just something that I had to learn as well. Okay, so that was number 6. Now number 5, I'm gonna say, is something that I've learned that's very important, is to not panic when you're faced with certain obstacles, like on the road. Like if you're driving down the road and there's something in the middle of the road, or something like catches you by surprise, something might fly out of the back of somebody's truck, and just, you know, don't panic in situations like that. Or, you know, somebody cuts you off and you gotta slam on your brakes. Because it was one time where I was driving and I was about to get off to go to a rest area or welcome center or something like that, and I was in the middle lane about to get over to the right lane, but it was cars in the right lane and it was cars in the left lane. So right before I got over to the right lane, a mattress flew out of a pickup truck in front of me. I couldn't go to the right, I couldn't go to the left, so I just had to run over the mattress. So I feel like in situations like that, some people might panic and try to like swerve it and try to like, you know, dodge it. Sometimes you just gotta run over things. Like sometimes you just have to run over things instead of you, like, running over the mattress is better than smashing into a car on your right or on your left. Even like with animals, I've never hit an animal yet, and I'm really not looking forward to that. Any object that's in the road that's not supposed to be there, like a tire, sometimes it's tires in the road, sometimes it's like a random cone in the road. Most of the time, me personally, most of the time I'll see it and I'll have enough time to react. I'll slow down, or I'll be able to get in a different lane. That's why it's so important to look ahead while you're driving. Because when I first started driving, I had a problem with like looking far ahead. I would like look like at the road to make sure like I'm in the lines. But that was when I first started driving. So now I know it's easier to just look down the road to just see what's going on. And it'll help you be more aware of obstacles coming up. And just remember, when you're faced with obstacles in the road like that, to not panic, because it could be bad, obviously, if you panic. So, and then even in other situations, like if the GPS is telling you to go the wrong way and now you're on a road that you're not supposed to be on, and now you're lost, and now you just trying to find your way back to the main road. And times like that, don't keep driving. Just find somewhere safe to pull over. Don't freak out. Pull over, take a deep breath, and figure out what you can do to get out of that situation. Because I've been in several situations where I was like, I don't know how I'm about to get out of this. But I did, because I took the time to take a deep breath and use my brain, you know, and just try to figure out how I can safely get out of this situation. So yeah, that's number 5. Don't panic when you're faced with obstacles, whether it be on the road or GPS or just whatever. Just don't panic. That's number 5. Don't panic. Okay, so number 4, I feel like some people might not agree with this one, but mind you, everything that I'm saying is my opinion, and this is not facts. This is just my opinion, okay? So number 4 is experience over money, especially in the beginning. I'm not saying that it's impossible to make good money in the beginning. It might be a little bit more difficult, because at the same time you're trying to make a lot of money, you're also trying to get adjusted to driving a truck. Not even just driving the truck, but everything else, like backing the truck and learning how to go into shippers and receivers and do the paperwork and things with the trailer, and you're learning a lot. I feel like your focus should be more so on gaining the experience. That's just how I was. Like in the beginning, I was not worried about the money. I was worried about gaining experience, because I don't like the feeling of not being experienced in something that I'm doing, because then I'm not confident. And when I'm not confident, I don't like that feeling. I was just so focused on gaining the experience, I wasn't worried about the money. And that's still how I am, honestly. But now that I have a little bit more experience, I know that I can go to a job and get better money, because better pay is going to come with more experience. Like I said, this is just my opinion. This is something that, and it's not even something that I learned technically, it's already something that it's just something that I felt since the very beginning, because I was never worried about, I was never like, yeah, I'm about to get in here and just make all this money. That's all I'm worried about. That's all I care about, is just making a lot of money. Like, I actually wanted to learn how to drive a truck. I wanted to learn about the truck. I wanted to learn how to do things on the truck, in the truck. I wanted to learn about the trailer. Like, I wanted to learn about shippers and receivers. I wanted to learn about navigation and just everything that has to do with this, and I'm still learning every day. I learn something new. I feel like if you really put yourself in the position to really be open to taking in new information every day and gaining more experience and gaining more knowledge, and it's just so much that I still don't know about trucking, but that's why I like when people teach me things. I like when people tell me something that I didn't know, because it helps, it never hurts to know more about what you're doing. I'm here in this truck every day, most days out of the month, so I should know a good amount about the truck and what I'm doing. So yeah, that's number 4. Experience over money. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people are just so like money. So I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me on that one, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so number 3 is dispatchers, fleet managers, driver managers, whatever your company calls them, because apparently they're called different things. Yeah, so dispatcher is the person that assigns you loads. They dispatch the load to you. And I've had multiple dispatchers at different companies. I've had some that I really liked, and I've had some that I didn't like. So I feel like when you have a good dispatcher that you like and you get along with and they look out for you, and it's a two-way street, and I feel like when you have a dispatcher like that, it's so important and it makes the time at the company better. I had dispatchers that I didn't really like for whatever reason. It's just like, now I feel like you just out to get me. Like, now I just feel like you don't even want to help me. Now I feel like you don't even care about me, so I don't care about you. But yeah, so it's just like, I feel like having a good dispatcher that you can have a good relationship with is important, because they're the ones that give you the loads that you make money from. and you know, they handle your home time and things like that. So it's just good to have a good relationship with them. I'm not saying force a relationship, or I'm not saying be fake, because I'm not going to be fake. I'm not. But I'm saying, because it's been times where I asked for a different driver manager, a different dispatcher. It's been times where I've asked for a different one because I just didn't like the one that I had. Because I felt like, I don't like feeling like you don't care about my well-being. You don't care about anything that's going on with me. Like, you only care about the money that you're making from this load. And I don't like that, because if we not looking out for each other, and if we, you know, don't have each other back, like, I don't really want to work with you. So that's just my opinion. So yeah, I feel like it's important to have a good dispatcher and a good relationship with your dispatcher, because I feel like they might look out for you when it comes to loads, when it comes to home time, when it comes to just anything that you need help with, or, you know, you might need them to look out for you on. They would probably be more open to it because y'all have a good relationship. So that's why I feel like that's important. Okay, so number 2 is local, regional, and OTR. And I know people always ask me, oh, what do you do OTR? Yeah, I do OTR currently. I've done all 3 though. I've done OTR, regional, and local. And what I can say about the 3 of them that I've learned is that they are similar, because obviously you're driving a truck still. But they all teach you different things, I feel like. So I'm going to start with OTR. OTR is easy. Well, not easy, but it's easier than local. I feel like local is more challenging. So OTR, you know, as far as backing, you probably only back maybe twice a day at the most, because let's say you go to you wake up, you have a load on you, you take it to the delivery place, you back it into the spot, and then you pick up whatever, and then you go to a truck stop to park, and you back into the parking spot. That's 2 backs in one day. And it might not even always be 2 backs, you know. It might just be like, if you woke up, go deliver that load, back it into a spot, and then you stop at a rest area for the night. You pull into a rest area spot. So that day you only backed in one time. So what I'm saying is, my point is, with OTR you don't back as much. And that's good for beginners, because you can pace yourself when it comes to learning. You don't have to like really like be backing. So, and then another thing is, like with OTR, the places that you deliver most of the time are going to have a lot of space, because it's a lot of distribution centers and a lot of just buildings with large parking lots. So that's one thing that I really do like about OTR, is that most times it's a distribution center or like a building with a big parking lot and a lot of space to back. So I do like that. So another thing I like about OTR is that some days you really just drive, honestly. Because if you have a delivery that say is like, I don't know, 15 hours away, you can drive the whole day, or your whole 11 hours. You could just drive your whole 11 hours and then shut down for the day, and all you did was just drive that day. No backing, unless you back into a parking spot to shut down for the night. But yeah, sometimes you just drive, and that's just like easy. Not saying that all of trucking is easy, but just days like that, it's just simple, you know. But regional is pretty much the same thing, honestly. The only difference with regional and OTR is that regional you go home more often, every weekend maybe. And not the only difference. Another difference between regional and OTR is OTR you go further, and regional you stay within a certain region of the country. So when I did regional, I did the Midwest, so it was like from Wisconsin to PA, and then just like back and forth between that. And then another time when I was doing regional was like the Northeast, so it was like Maine down to maybe like South Carolina, and then just like up like that. And local in my opinion is the most challenging, because you have to back so many times a day. You have to get used to making tight turns often. When you make the tight turn and you don't want your trailer, the back of your trailer, not the back, but the side of your trailer to hit against the brown telephone pole, because that's happened to me before, and I had to move back when it was cars behind me. And then you gotta get used to making wide turns, and you gotta get used to telling people in the turning lane to move back so I can make the turn, and you got them looking at you like you crazy, like you don't know what you're doing. But whole time you know what you're doing. I need space to make this turn. I need space to clear the turn so the back of my trailer, the side of my trailer, don't hit the telephone pole. So local is more challenging. Like, you just gotta back so many more times a day. You gotta back into the tighter spots, and because it's been some spots that's been tight, and sometimes you gotta back off the street. You gotta hold up traffic, and you know, people in cars just don't understand. Like, they just don't get it. Local, when I did local, I only had about 2.5 months of OTR experience, maybe 3 months of OTR experience. Honestly, I would not have really wanted to just go from school to doing local. I don't think I would have wanted to like just jump into it like that. So I'm happy that I did have a little OTR experience before going local. I enjoyed it because it was a challenge, and it was a great learning experience. You know, doing local taught me so much about driving a truck and how to maneuver the truck. It just taught me so much. So yeah, that was number 2. Okay, so number 1 is GPS or navigation. Where do I even start with this? Because lately, I don't know what's going on with my truck GPS. I have Copilot, which comes on a tablet that comes in the truck. I don't know what's been going on with Copilot lately, but it has been so unreliable. Like, so unreliable. But one thing that I have learned within my 2 years of driving is to never solely rely on one GPS. Always have a second one. Have a third one if you want. But just don't rely on one. Because it's been so many times where the truck GPS has told me to go away, like a wrong way. It's told me to go, sometimes it just tries to take me like out the way unnecessarily. Because I use that GPS, and I always have my Apple Maps, the GPS on that comes on my iPhone. I have that up too when I'm driving. So I pay attention to both of them, and of course I read the signs on the road. It's so important to read the signs. That's it. I should have put that as another one, but I'll just add this in here. Read the signs when you're driving. It's so important to read signs, because I'm telling you, if you miss an important sign and you're not paying attention, it could cost you the top of your truck and the top of your trailer. If you not paying attention, and if you miss an important sign, it could cost you going down a no trucks allowed road. You can't turn around. You gotta call the cops. I'm trying to tell you. If you miss an important sign, you could the GPS could take you into a residential area that you're not supposed to be in, and like it's just so many different situations that you could get yourself into that you don't want to be in if you miss an important sign. So it is so important to read signs. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, back to the GPS. I can't stress that enough either. Just don't have just one GPS. That's just what I've learned. And it's just like, if I had one GPS, I would have gotten into so many more unnecessary situations. But I've learned to have 2 up. And I know some people say, oh, buy your own truck GPS. Like, some people say Rand McNally, some people say Garmin, some people say use the Hammer app. I don't use none of that. I use whatever truck GPS they got in the truck, and I use my Apple Maps. Until this day, I'm good. You know, I have gotten into some situations that I had to get myself out of, but nothing like really serious. So that was number 1, and that was the most important, because sometimes the GPS can really betray you. Like like sometimes the GPS be having me feeling so betrayed. I'm like, I thought you had my back. Like, you supposed to have my back and you just not there for me. Like, I don't know if the tablet, if it need to be like reset, the GPS need to be like reset or something. I don't know what's going on, but lately it's been acting crazy. So I just been using, I mean, I still been using it obviously, but I've been using my Apple Maps and I've been reading the signs and using my brain. Don't forget your brain. Don't forget your common sense, please. But yeah, so that was my list of 7 things that I've learned in my 2 years of truck driving, and I hope that this was insightful in some way, whether you're a new driver or experienced driver. But this is mostly for like the newer drivers, because I know the experienced drivers they already know this. So yeah, that was my video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video.